So let's first talk about the topic. When we read an informational article or a nonfiction article, something that's giving us facts or teaching us information on a topic, there's usually a topic, what the text is mostly about. You guys know from writing paragraphs that your topic sentence usually sets up or tells you what your whole paragraph is going to be about. So let's read this paragraph, and we're going to look for repeating words, repeating phrases, and it says also here that you can look at pictures, diagrams, and illustrations to help you figure out the topic. We don't have any of those today, but in future passages that we look at, you will want to look at illustrations, diagrams, pictures to help you figure out the topic. So let's read this paragraph. The potato chip was an invention that accidentally happened. George Crumb was a chef trying to please a customer who kept sending his French fries back to the kitchen with the complaint that he wanted them crispier and thinner. Crumb kept slicing potatoes and cooking them until they became the crispy potato chips we know today. So I noticed that in the first sentence, it talked about let me get my marker here, the potato chip. And then I noticed again, it talked about potatoes, crispy potatoes, and crispy potato chips. So there's potato chip, potato chip, potato. Those are some repeating words. I'm pretty confident that this text is mostly about potato chips. I think that's the topic. So what do I think the topic is? Again, I saw this potato chip, potato chips. I don't think that the topic is French fries, and it's not really about chefs. There was this notion of George Crumb being the person, but really the topic is all about potato chips. So now that we know what the topic is actually one of the first things that you can determine that's going to help you figure out the main idea. If the topic is what the text is mostly about, the main idea is what the author wants me to learn most about the topic. So let's replace the word topic with potato chips. In other words, what does the author want me to learn most about potato chips from this passage? Well, the potato chip, in the first sentence, it says was an invention that accidentally happened. Sometimes the main idea can be found in the first sentence. Sometimes it's not in the text at all. You have to reread the text, use clues to help you figure out the main idea. So I know that the topic was potato chips, and in the first sentence it says the potato chip was an invention that accidentally happened. Then it goes on to talk about how George Crumb was a chef trying to please a customer who kept sending his French fries back to the kitchen with the complaint that he wanted them crispier and thinner. Crumb kept slicing potatoes and cooking them until they became the crispy potato chips we know today. Until they became the crispy potato chips we know today. So in the first and last sentence, it's talking about how the potato chip was made. It's not about flavors of potato chips. It's not about how many potato chips are manufactured and produced and sold around the world. It's about how the potato chip was invented. So let's go back to the text. I think that I can say pretty confidently that the main idea of this is about how potato chips were invented or made. I'm going to go to the questions and I'm going to look for that. The first one says, what is the main idea? It says George Crumb kept slicing potatoes thinner and thinner. Well, I don't think that that's a good answer choice. I'm going to put an X by it because I'm fairly confident that that's just a detail that supports how he figured out potato chips, but it's not the main idea. The potato chip was invented accidentally. I'm going to put an M for maybe by that because I like that answer choice and it kind of comes back to what we noticed in the very first sentence. Sometimes the main idea is in that first sentence and it says the potato chip was an accidental invention. A customer wanted thinner French fries. No, again, that's more of a detail, and we're going to talk about details later in the week. But that's not really the main idea. That's not what the author wants us to learn most about potato chips. So the last thing says George Crumb was trying to please a customer. Well, I'm going to also say no on that because that is also supporting the idea that he created something by accident. So I feel very confident now. I'm going to go back and I'm going to bubble it in. And I'm going to circle my answer because I think that is the main idea.